Hi Ben.
Hi.
Thanks for meeting with me to go through some ways that we can help Nikki to communicate better in the classroom. So as we discussed last week, as with any other child, we need to give Nikki a way to communicate anything she wants at any time. Her emotions, what activities she wants to do, um, uh, if she wants to stop an activity, all those sorts of things that any other child would be communicating to you in a classroom. But at the moment, she's not able to communicate those things to you via words. So we need to give her another system to do that. And so what we've looked at is the different communication strengths that she has to figure out what's the best system to use. So she can actually point really well. She does that with books at the moment. She also understands 1 and 2 step instructions as well, so that's age appropriate. Lots of other 3-year-olds are able to do that. Um, and so what we've come up with her family is using what we call a communication board, because it's something that she can use pretty easily at home and here, and that I can train yourself and her family to use as well, so that we can all be using the same system to help Nikki to communicate. So a communication board consists of different symbols matched to different words. So you'll see here we've got a picture of a book, that could stand for book or read, and painting and things like that. So what we've looked at is different activities that Nikki would typically be doing in the classroom and at home, and things that she really enjoys, that she would likely want to communicate about. So we call that fringe, we call those fringe words. And these words over here are what we call core words. So you'll see things like go, stop, I, yes, no, sad, happy. So they're words that you would use every day in communication and can be used in lots of different ways. So it's good to have a mix of those words so she can express anything that she wants to, basically. We have a mix of nouns and verbs and adjectives and things like that. So the way it works is that you'll initially need to model for Nikki how this works. So you would point to a picture that represents a word as you're saying that word. So you might say, would you like to read a book, Nikki? And you would point to book while you're looking at her and saying book. You might give her some options. Would you like to read a book or play with a doll? And so through you modelling all those different things, as you're pointing, then she starts to learn to be able to communicate that herself, she needs to point to that picture.
But she will be slightly familiar with that before she starts with me in the classroom.
Yes, yes. So we've just started using this at home with Nikki's family yesterday, and so she doesn't start here till next week. So she'll definitely be familiar with it, and we can have a chat to Joy when on her first day, just see how she's going with it. She might be able to give us some tips about things that she finds are working with Nikki in introducing her to this as well. So the important thing is to try and use it in activities where she's motivated to communicate with you. She really enjoys lots of pretend play and playing with dolls and things like that. So she's more likely to communicate with you and want to learn to use this in those interactions when she's motivated. We might have a bit of a go with you to make sure that you're comfortable with it.
Right. So if I pick up a book and then I just touch the picture of the book, that's what I do.
Yeah, sort of. So what you need to do is make sure that you're saying the word book. So and make sure that you're pointing directly on and leave your finger there. Make sure she sees it.
Leave my finger on. Fine.
Yes,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
So
not just touch it and leave away.
Right. Yeah, we need to make sure that Nikki's seeing you pointing to that and that she's seeing you say book, so she's making that connection.
Right. I understand that. Yes.
Are there any other questions about how it works?
No, I think we'll go along and we'll see how we go, and then I can liaise with you about how we're going.
Yeah, great, perfect. So what we'll do is I've decided to leave it just to one communication board at the moment. You can actually have multiple ones, and they would be in like a binder. Some kids love having all those words from the outset to communicate. Other kids get quite overwhelmed. So I think we'll see pretty quickly with Nikki what her preference is. If we're finding she's getting quite frustrated but still able to point, then maybe we'll add some more in. I'll be checking in with you each week.
Makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. We want to make sure she's got access to all the language that she needs to communicate. The other thing, I've just created a little guide for you to help to help you to remember how to use the board. So I call it the 4Ps. So make sure that it's present at all times, so in the classroom and the playground. Provide a model, pause to give her time to communicate, and always praise any communication attempt as well. So
that's really important with 3-year-olds. Right?
Yeah, that sort of positive reinforcement, definitely. And so the other thing I've created is just we need you to capture some information for us so we can see how it's going, to see if we need to make any changes to things. So some of the things that I've written down on the sheet are how frequently she's using it. Are you noticing that she is able to actually point to these pictures, or is she not able to sort of use it effectively in that way? Are her friends actually using it? So are peers coming up and actually pointing to pictures to communicate with her as well? That would be our ultimate aim. And also, is she getting frustrated? So when she can't use this to communicate, how is she actually repairing that communication? So those are some of the things that we that are on the sheet that I'll get you to note down, and I'll check in with you next week.
Right. All right.
Any questions?
No, I think that's fine, and I'll liaise with you, and we'll work on from there.
Great.
All right. Thank you very much.